Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very unplanned video because of the best thing, community talks and sharing thoughts and ideas. And we talked about the topic again in the Discord, which clan could be in the DLC, and somebody dropped for the standalone Thinbloods. Because on the first DLC we pretty much all agree that it will be Malkavian. And then Thinblood theory for the standalone, I quickly said, nah, never, I don't see Fire as an Elder Thinblood, that's not possible, wouldn't make any sense, would be bad writing, I don't see that. But I don't know why, but I was so narrow-minded there. There was an idea dropping that we could possibly play Fabian's story in the standalone, and that is pretty much possible if you think about it a bit more, because the devs always say that the standalone will provide a unique and new gameplay experience, and there are all the checks. Fabian would be another character, would be new. Fabian would be a Thinblood and not a full vampire, would be new. That would be a completely new gameplay experience and story-wise. So why do I think that this is possibly a bad idea? So this is not my subjective opinion, I try to be objective here, because my subjective opinion is opposite. But objectively bad would be that I don't know how people will react to that if they officially drop that. If they talk next year about, hey, Fabian is part of the standalone and you will play his story until he meets his demise with Fire. Yeah, I think the outrage would be high. Because we already have so many people run around and claim the game is shit because my favorite clan is missing, or they only show combat, it will be a combat game, or yeah, it is a walking simulator, blah blah blah. So yeah, we have everything. My most favorite thing still is, oh, there is snow in Seattle, the game will be bad because the devs don't have any clue. Yeah. I don't even know how to react to that. Yeah, but that's the major thing. I think if the game sells really well, then the devs could possibly announce more DLCs with more clans and and more storylines. There would be so much possibility. But if they don't bring some full clans with much power, I think many people will go wild, and I think real fans too, who are now positive. So I don't say all of them, because I wouldn't be one of them, but I see some people would, for the start, would have a very emotional outbreak, because the moment Malkavians were not the fourth clan, I already saw a peak in comments. When Ventru were announced, and people got crazy. So until Ventru it was mild, but with Ventru it was now clear which clans won't make it into the game from the start. And there you had the Toreadors, the Malkavians, the Nosferatu, the Gangrel. All of them gathered together as a new sect. And yeah, they were very emotional. I mean, I understand that Passion is doing these things, I'm passionate too, but it would be, I think, objectively a bad move to announce Thinbloods as a standalone experience while people are discussing all the time, will it be Gangrel, Nosferatu, or La Sombra as three major possible clans. And now people go in circles around these three clans, and yeah, that could be difficult. And that's the only thing. I think it would be creating an outrageous backlash from people who are not so welcoming with the idea of Thinbloods, because many vampire players, I think, still, so the V20 or V2, V3, they are mostly not so positive towards Thinbloods. Most of them, I think, because it is my experience with the community and back in the days how people handled it. But they are much more prominent in V5 for a reason. Makes a lot of sense. I like the development of them, but many people say, yeah, they're just not really vampires, so I don't care. I don't want to play a half vampire, a basic human, etc. So I don't know how prominent this will be. You already saw it with Hardsuit Labs, hey, we play Thinbloods, who will eventually become a full member. Many mixed feelings out there about that idea. I think the majority is preferring being an Elder over a Thinblood. And that would be taken away, again, for an, I think, paid DLC. I mean, they never announced anything, but my guess still is the first DLC will be free, possibly, or cheap. And the second will be, because it's a new experience, a fully paid DLC. And I don't see people running there crazily happy to pay for it. So, objectively, that's the thing. My subjective opinion on it is that I would welcome it. I am a huge fan of Thinbloods and all the horror and drama you can bring with them. Because the World of Darkness, I mean, back in the days we always said, in the 90s and early 2000s, the World of Darkness is our world, but much darker. I don't know if it's me, but back in the days stuff looked very much more positive until September 11th. With open borders, people greeting each other, going towards each other. I mean, not everything was perfect, but the overall mood was much more positive than today. And if I say this today, our world's plus more dark, yeah, then the World of Darkness would be pretty dark. But at least we have many supernatural beings, and the Thinbloods are one of them. And they are in an awkward spot because they are vampires and they are human. So they are much more connected to humans and humanity than to the kindred. And this causes much opportunity for a strong narrative, because not every Thinblood is the same. Not everyone can eat and digest food like a human. Not everyone can reproduce like a human. Not everyone can walk through the sun like a human. Not everyone can feed properly, yeah? But it's possible for at least every Thinblood, yeah, every Thinblood can have something of these quirks, and possibly even more and more and more. You have Thinbloods who try to maintain their family status, try to go to work, try to not change a thing until everything will crash dramatically and horrible. They are part of human society and not any longer than they are part of a vampiric society, and not really that too. They are despised for being something they never chose. They have to watch their shoulders all the time, they have to fight hard, and they have to make much more sense about all the stuff than other vampires. And there I see a lot of narrative for Fabian. Imagine we get this as a whole picture, so we understand it even more. And yeah, I really would like to see that. Don't get me wrong, I really would like to see Fire as a Nosferatu, because I fucking love Nosferatu, or Gangrel would be cool too, or La Sombra. But I have a real soft spot for Thinbloods and the narrative possibilities they have, because they are not just humans with some extras. It's definitely more. There can be so much more, and they are so tragic. They bring so much tragedy and horror to the game, so I see a lot of potential there. But yeah, these are basically my thoughts. I'm very welcoming, or would be very welcoming for Thinbloods, for a strong narrative there. I see the potential. And if they go this route, it's a series time video, yeah, series time. If they go this route and if they really try to pull it off, then they need to provide one of the strongest narrative DLCs out there. Because they need to convince people that it will be good. So I'm open to it. What are your thoughts on it? So this is in addition to my last video. I cut out the Thinbloods completely because I thought not possible. With my now knowledge or thinking, I would have included them in the last video, so this is the second part of it. Thanks for staying with me, have a nice day, and bye bye.